All right. So first of all, I just want to thank Eden for coming on the call, and this is going to be awesome. I hope you guys are pumped and excited. We've kind of been, we had this whole little, hey, how are you doing with Success Partner and this and that and everything, and that was over. I believe it was in July, is when it was, and that's when my summer classes hit. My mom, like, we were supposed to have a call, and then my mom got in her ATV accident, and I was like, I can't, like, it just went crashing down after that. So then finally, after classes were done, I was like, all right, let's try this. Let's do this. And so far, everything's been going amazing. We've been giving each other great info and keeping up with each other. And it's just, that's what you want to look for in a success partner. And don't stop trying until you find someone, because when you find that person where you're going to stay consistent with them and they'll stay consistent with you, it's really great, because you're going to pull each other's, strengths out of each other and get the most that you can. So, and you'll just pop ideas off each other and you're like, what? Crazy. So, right. I just want to say thank you guys for coming on the call. Obviously Team Cup month, I think everyone, hope you guys are rocking your team cups. I know that, Alex, you have success points already too, right? I guess I'll find out tomorrow, huh?
Well, they're not officially on the board yet, but come payday, they will be. So, yeah, definitely Thursday next week for this person.
Awesome. So, as far as that goes, remember these, points are points or whatever. I look at this as an unlimited time to build as many relationships as you guys can, because that's what they are to me. Like when we were talking and she's like, okay, well, what do you have for your points and stuff? I'm like, I don't really set points. Like, I'm like, I just go for as many as I can, but I'm like, I've never went for 50. So what did I do? I wrote in my journal. I write every morning to God, and I'm like, hey, I'm praying that you bring me, or that I get to build relationships with 100 people this month, and 75 will commit. So that's what I prayed for. We'll see where that goes and how I can manage that. But that's what I prayed for. So I'll be praying for that every single day. And then just taking the steps to go from there. So one thing is that if you guys have been on this for a while, remember the follow-ups. Me, I'm going back to my last few sneak peeks. I'm looking back at my Go for No sheets and following up with them. And then referrals, huge at this moment. So one thing with referrals is start talking to people and just being like, hey, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you, I'm getting ready to start this next challenge group. I'm looking for more people to join to make this the best possible challenge group that we can. Those that are ready to get healthy and fit. Maybe they don't even know about it yet, but I would just love to talk to them about their goals. There's no commitment whatsoever, because when you can get down and talk to someone about their goals, that commitment might change. So ask for referrals. Another thing that's been going around viral, and I don't know if you guys saw it on the team page, but I'll be posting it either tonight or tomorrow. But it was a post. Let me see. I think I have it saved on my phone here. So the post says, hey, everyone. Okay, so I have a huge favor to ask you. I'm in a contest this month, and I would love and appreciate if you would let me post a picture about my Beachbody business on your timeline. If you don't mind, please comment below and let me know that it's okay to do so. Thank you so much. Because right then and there, you're asking them if you can do that. And if you can, figure out what you want to put out there. I might change that around a little bit to my personality and who I am. And then I would post, for me, probably my transformation photo and just a tidbit about my story with a link to my longer 4 years of transformation. So if that's something that, just put it out on your timeline. You don't know. There could be 20 people that go from there. And then when you put that on 20 people's pages, there's one out of each. Just think of that. One person out of each. And then break that down. So you got 20 people that join from the 20 people. And how many points is that? That's 40 points right there for challenge packs, if you think about it. Crazy, right? Okay, so I don't want to take up too much more time. I'm going to head it over to Eden and let her talk about, give her expertise on more organization, because that's something that I don't have. You guys know that. I'm totally organized chaos, right? So, all right, let's head this over here. By the way, this girl is going to be rocking like 15 star in no time, and she's only 24. Just saying, like, you guys, you can do anything that you set your mind and heart to. So
In the interim of you, okay, I'm a host now. Cool. So just a really short introduction about myself. Just FYI, I blow through these calls pretty quickly. I'm not much for sitting around. I'd rather spend that time answering questions more than anything. So we're going to go through very quickly. Personally, for me, I've been in just as long as, if not longer than Ashton has. We are late bloomers. That's what I like to refer to it as. Presently a lifetime star diamond and really pushing to make this business work. When she talks about having a really good success partner, I really think it's important to find someone who is the complete opposite of you, but still have the capability of having some pretty good chemistry. I'm not, sorry, I don't do well with distractions when I'm on a call, so I'm just muting everyone. So I personally find that I am a red when it comes down to the color code personality. I don't really know how that transfers over to Danny Johnson's gems. I believe I'm supposed to be a ruby. I work pretty well with people that are the complete opposite of me. So people that are, as a red, I'm definitely more power driven, more task driven. I'm more number motivated. And I find that I connect with people very well who gravitate to fun and gravitate to being the energy of the party. And those are areas that I lack. And that's why I think Ashton and I have a pretty successful partnership, because we're very respectful of each other's time. We show up when we say that we're going to show up. And then on top of that, we are willing to complement each other. So I think that's something that's really important in a success partner. So personally for me, organization, time management, and systems are things that I love. When it comes down to building this business, if I can spend my time pouring into training, I would much rather do that than run a challenge group, because I'm not really strong at those things. But when it comes down to organizing, making sure that my team understands what the priorities are within the business, I believe those are my strong suits. So I kind of just want to give you some tokens, and at the end give you 5 tips that I think would kind of ramp up your business a little bit or help you use your time a little bit more effectively. There is no such thing as time management. So I just want you to kind of wrap your head around that. There are so many different tools out there that are like 20 ways to improve your time management, 20 ways to make more time in the day. You really have to wrap your head around the idea that there is no such thing as time management. There is only you. You are the only thing that you can manage. Same 24 hours in a day for everyone, but somehow the successful people seem to just have more, and they seem to just get more done. It's because they really do take that time and energy and they push forward. There's also no such thing as a work-life balance. So get that. I would adopt that mentality. And the reason that I say these things to you is not to shake the belief that you already have, but probably make you a little bit more comfortable with the fact that there will be chaos from a day-to-day basis, regardless of the scale of that chaos. There are things that you're going to be uncomfortable with. And when I say that there is no work-life balance, it means that if you are in the infancy of your business, you really do have to be willing to do the things that you would not do in anything else, so that you can go ahead and create that freedom later on, which means making the appropriate sacrifices and pouring time into this business in instances where it's easier to do more leisure activities. So just get your head around the idea of sacrifice is absolutely necessary. Another thing is, this is your business and only you create your emergencies. Nothing in this business is an emergency, okay? Until we're down to 11:59 Eastern Standard Time on a Wednesday night and we're trying to close rank, we're trying to close qualifications, or maybe close Success Club. Don't let all the notifications and the emails and whatever from all of your challengers and your coaches and all this, don't let that be where your attention goes on a day-to-day basis. I think it's really important to stay oriented. If it means taking certain apps off of your phone so that you are not constantly in this multitask mode, then let that be it. Wherever you are, be completely and fully present. I think that was one of the things, those were one of the huge it was just such a huge handicap for me when I was trying to cater to everyone all the time. You know, even between Ashton and myself, even when we're texting back and forth or we're messaging back and forth, there are lapses in when we respond to each other. And it's not that we're being disrespectful, but that we have other things going on. And when you sit down to do business, you sit down to do business. And if you're going to go ahead and have that time with your family, be completely present. In the moments that you really do sit down to do your business, you're much more inclined to stay focused. Also, something else, you will never be done. So just embrace that. There will always be something new to do. So I know a lot of people are like, I never feel like, you know, I feel like I always have my challenge groups to do, and I always have to do this, and I always have to come up with new emails, and the business is constantly growing. If you have aspirations to make this a full-time income, you will constantly be moving. There will come a time where it's a little bit more comfortable to take your foot off the gas pedal. However, just be comfortable and find comfort in the fact that the name of the game isn't to finish everything by a deadline. It's just to consistently keep going. Now, when it comes to organization, I believe that there are hundreds of ways to do it the right way. So if you are a fan of kind of digging through people's YouTube channels, especially Beachbody coaches, they will show you their organization methods, okay? You have binders, you have notebooks, you have Excel spreadsheets, you have trackers that are personally customized, you have people that use different CRMs or contact relationship management systems, more along the lines of where you input information of your customers and when you do your follow-ups. There's so many different ways to do it right. It isn't you don't look at the person and say, if I do it just like them, my business will look like that. Do whatever is more comfortable for you and which will drive you to consistently do it. I encourage you to take the time now to create your systems and get those things in place so that you can take more time later. So there are instances, even when we do back and forth with our customers and our potential coaches and things like that, where you find yourself saying the same thing over and over again. And while 15, 20 seconds or a minute to type up your response might seem negligible, in order to multiply your time later on, you really do need to make the effort now in order to set those things in place. So scripting ahead of time, fully knowing that when people ask you, how much is Shakeology going to be, you're going to respond the same way every single time, or how much is this challenge pack, or what is a club membership, and what's on demand. When people ask you those questions, all those things should be scripted out so that it really is a matter of copy and paste and sending it their way. I don't think it's impersonal. I think there are instances where it can be very impersonal, but save that time so that you can be more effective and spend more time doing what you're very good at. I would integrate building your system as part of your business time. Right now, with it being Cup Month, I wouldn't be like, go ahead and take the time right now to build your business. I think it's important to stay within action, but integrating the building of your system, I feel, is really important to have it be part of your business time now, so that step by step, you really do get to build that up so that you can use it later on. So if it means your power hour is, reaching out to more people and doing your personal development and also doing your follow-ups, go ahead and sanction off a part of that to scripting and thinking of questions that people typically ask you and how would I respond to that, and take that time to set it aside and do it now so that you don't have to do it later on. I also am a firm believer in trackers, and shortly, right after we kind of go over the 5 tips in just a second, I'm going to show you what my tracking system is, and I showed Ashton this past Monday when we were on our call together. You can't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. I believe tracking is super important to your business, and she's told me that she's come up with this Go for No tracker, which I think we kind of heard on a National Wake Up Call a few months ago. I never really implemented it, but it's such a great idea. And when you end up getting things from your sponsor and they say, show me what you've been doing for your activity for the past week or for the past month, you should be able to turn something back to your sponsor and say, this is what it looks like, and this is what my time has been going to, so that in helping you reevaluate and kind of structure your business so that you can heighten up the areas where you're a little bit more weak, your sponsor has the capability of seeing a full, fleshed out reflection of what you have been doing. So in the instances where, you're trying to see where your business is kind of falling through the cracks, I believe it's crucial to track your business. I also notice a very big difference in my business when I go, I think I'm just going to reach out to a couple people today, or I'm going to go ahead and check off that I reached out to 5 to 10 new people. Use the resources that are made available to you. I know Ashton has a couple things available, something that I've personally adopted, that Go for No tracker, and my team has seen it and absolutely loves it. But there are so many resources available to you, even within the back office. If you haven't seen them, they're available, I believe, in news and training under reference materials. There are different trackers for contact lists, following up through with the 5-step process, as well as the business activity tracker that corporate has created. So if you're the kind of person where you're like, I don't know where to start, and I'm sure as hell not creative enough to create my own tracking system, I would go ahead and use those things and see in the areas where you feel like it's best and where you know that you can make improvements. So 5 tips I want to offer to you. Work on the Pomodoro timer. This is something that I tell my team to do, because if you follow through with the Pomodoro principle, it's just that the attention span of an individual is only so long. Pomodoro principle has you working on 25 minutes and taking that 5 minutes off. Working on for 25 minutes and taking that 5 minutes off. So if you find that your power hours typically break down into 4 different actions, it would have you doing one particular activity for 25 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break to readjust, take a bathroom break, grab a snack, whatever you have to do, and then sit down and work for another 25 minutes. This means either setting a timer on your phone, or personally for me, I put it on my desktop when I'm on the computer. I just type in Pomodoro timer or countdown timer, and you can get a full screen timer that has you setting it at 25 minutes. And when that 25 minutes goes off, it blares, okay? Which means you stop whatever it is that you're doing. Personally for me, if I work against a clock, I am so much more effective fully knowing that I have an imminent deadline. So if it meant reaching as many people that you can within a 25-minute period, you would get it done. If it meant doing your personal development until you hear your phone ring, you would get those 25 minutes done. If it meant doing your follow-ups and blowing through your messages and responding to all these people that have been talking to you and spending 25 minutes doing back and forth conversation with them, you would get those things done. And spending 25 minutes to shut everything off and script, maybe even write it out on paper if you're kind of like ADD because technology is too overstimulating. Taking those 25 minutes to script will help you start implementing the building of your own system. I would spend 1 day a week planning the activities of the following week. I am going to show you a couple things that I did share with Ashton, and she's going to make these things available to you pretty soon. But when it comes down to the posts of your challenge groups, or maybe the posts of your sneak peek or your free clean eating group, or even the things that you post on a day-to-day basis, I appreciate that not all of us are full-time coaches and we don't have the flexibility of posting from home 3 to 4 times a day. You guys work full-time jobs, 9 to 5s. So fully knowing that there are times throughout the day that there is more Facebook activity, make sure that you're posting something at 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the evening, and maybe 9 o'clock in the evening. So if you're not the kind of person who has the availability to do those things, schedule that, because whether you are there or not, it'll look like you are, and it'll allow people to, it'll just drive in traction in the moments that you're not around. I would keep a checklist, kind of ties in with the business activity tracker that I'm going to show you. Keep a checklist of all the things that you do. If you make it a daily goal to hit 10 people and connect with 10 new people, make those little boxes so that you can check them off as you go. And once again, you can track your activity. And the last one, I think, well, fourth one is to use Evernote. I don't know if you guys use Evernote or not. I've used it. I've walked away from it and I'm using it again. It's one of the most clean, concise ways to organize even your scripts within Evernote, and I'll show you here in just a second. You can have notebooks, and within those notebooks you can have notes. So if it means scripting and fully knowing that maybe you don't work from the computer all the time and you need the accessibility to talk to people and to send them information while you're out, you can copy and paste straight from Evernote. It's a free service. I would definitely use it. I'll show you here in just a second. And my last tip is work in the hours that you are the most effective. I'm a huge proponent of you being self-disciplined enough to go ahead and work at the times when you are available. However, Don't josh yourself into thinking that you're going to be effective at certain times of the day when you naturally are not. Personally, for me, I work a lot better at night. So throughout the day, obviously I'll work in pockets because I work from home full time, but throughout the day is when I do things like I cook and I clean and whatever. And then in the moments that I know that I have the tendency to have more laser focus, I will go ahead and use that time for the business. So really quickly, I wanted to show you a couple of things. When it comes down to using Evernote, this is what I mean. You have little notebooks on the side. So these are different scripts that I've been coming up with the help of Ashton. So it allows you to just copy and paste these things when you're out and about, because you can download Evernote as an app on your smartphone. Different things like this. I just recently started a Ditch the Sugar challenge. And instead of like having 27 different Google Docs to send people, Evernote really allows you to go ahead and consolidate those things so that even when I went ahead and shared this with my team, all I had to do was go over here and share the notebook itself, and they can go through and click through the different notes and kind of look at it fleshed out in full. Another thing I want to show you, and Ashton, give me the thumbs up if you still want me to show them my team training website. Okay, so this is something that I've gone ahead and done. My team's name is Team Break to Build, something that we ended up coming out with. And I ended up using I don't know if this is even going to work, but I ended up creating a team training website that's password protected. It's something that Ashton is in the process of building for you guys so that you guys have a little bit more centralized location. But what I'm doing right now is kind of giving you a sneak peek as to probably the structure of what it's going to look like. I have an area here where they can click and schedule time to speak with me. The link to my 21-day boot camp is right here. So basically what I do when a new coach signs up is really just give them password access to this. And it says, hey, new coach, step 1, step 2, step 3. And we have all of our team call information as well as our recordings in there. Step 4 in here. These are just consolidations of videos that I have learned from. So there's nothing in here personally that I've gone ahead and created, but when it comes down to earning commissions and advancing in rank and what are team cycle bonuses and how do you achieve Success Club every single month, they are nuggets that I've gone ahead and picked up from all over YouTube and from the sharing of other coaches, and I've gone ahead and put it all in one spot. Personally, for me, it makes it easy because whenever my new coaches come in, there is no question as to how to get to Emerald or what Success Club even is or what Success Starters is. Also different things like step 5 here, I have it like one of your first steps when you start the business. Once they go Emerald, they have a different video to watch to learn about cushioning their Emerald. And as they go to Diamond, you get them in more of a CEO mindset. So there are videos there. There's a scripting video from a call I did a few months ago, and then the script templates, the scripts that you just saw, are all consolidated here. So as I make them, they will go ahead and click through and open into these Evernotes. The 3-week courtesy reminder to my challengers, it's all right there. So my new coaches can't really be in the situation where they're like, I don't really know what to say. And the scripting is something that I have personally held off on. But like I told you, you have to take the time to build that system now so that you don't have to do it later on. And the different things down here like planning and organization. Another thing that I went ahead and sent to Ashton and she's going to make available to you is our monthly calendar. And it's the activities from week to week and from month to month are all fleshed out, which means week 1, every single week of the month, we go ahead and start off with a free challenge. We get to segue that into opportunities to invite into a paid challenge. And naturally, your challengers will gravitate to the idea of coaching once they have a little bit more of that experience. So we do sneak peeks and then eventually inviting to the new coach boot camp that starts on the beginning Monday of every month. That's not what I'm supposed to be showing you. So I don't know where, I can't even move this stupid thing. So another thing that I was like, I'm going to show you something, but it's under the little like doohickey. Something that I want to show you if you are more of a pen and paper person. I went ahead and bound this at Office Max for $15, okay? And if you're the kind of person where you're like, I have 37 sheets of paper and 37 different binders and there's no way I can keep track of everyone, I go ahead and put it all in here. So what I ended up doing was creating a tab here where it says calendar, and it actually has the calendar that I just showed you, the color-coded calendar, all laid out here, because I'm the kind of person where it's easier for me to check it off and cross it off than it is for me to like look at the computer screen and go, okay, I think I did it, and then to delete it, because that's not what I want to do. I have adopted Ashton's Go for No tracker on a month-to-month basis, and it's actually a really nice visual of like being able to see, okay, who do I need to go back and speak to, and then to kind of move them from month to month. Another thing that I do every single month is I take the time to reevaluate what my business is going to look like for the entire month. So I set different goals, like what is my success club going to look like? How many new challengers am I going to have? New coaches? What is my rank advancement going to be this month? And I'll even set personal health goals, because as you can see, Ashton's had a wicked transformation. You don't get that kind of stuff by letting your own personal health and fitness fall by the wayside. And you continually need to show up in that aspect. So I hope you integrate your health and fitness into your business as much as you do reaching out to new people. So I'll do personal health goals, and I'll make a note here of non-scale victories I can share for the month. If I can think of one, I'll go ahead and write it down so that in the moments when I need a little bit of inspiration on what to post, I can go ahead and share it there. And then the other big thing is a business activity tracker like this. I think I've sent this to you, right? I think the big one, I think I went ahead and sent that to you. I'm not sure. But every single day, you have things like Drink Shakeology, do your Beachbody workout, 30 minutes of personal development. And then there are things like respond to your messages, say happy birthday to all the people on your Facebook. Takes 2 seconds, but makes them feel so good. And then it also reminds you of the people that you might have not kept in contact with. So gives you an opportunity to reconnect that way. Adding and connecting with 5 people, following up, checking in with 1 coach. If you don't have any coaches within your organization, that's okay. Check in with your sponsor that week if you want to. Inviting people to challenges, scheduling calls, posting in my coach group, my challenge group, and like my personal accountability group with like all my free customers. I have to remind myself to do that because I hate doing it. It's just like the minutia of it. I don't like it. So I'll try to schedule those things ahead of time. But joining and posting in a new Facebook group, as well as posting several times on your wall and your fan page. Something you might or might not know, the level of activity that you have on your fan page on a consistent basis will actually determine how many times it shows up in the newsfeed of your audience. So if you're someone who posts to your Facebook fan page like once every 2 weeks, then the probability of that showing up in other people's newsfeeds is slim to none. But if you continuously show up 2 to 3 times a day, and post and schedule those things ahead of time, it has a higher Facebook affinity and more people will draw to it and see it. So different things to keep in mind. I have tried everything when it came down to organization. I've done Excel spreadsheets. I hate them because I need to be sitting on the computer the whole time. I've tried different CRMs, hate them because it's like literally each system is great if you stay up with it. So if you find that you like one, by all means use it. But going back to paper and pen is definitely something that I personally really like. I'm just not good with like loose leaf paper and stuff. Like it freaks me out. So I went ahead and bound it so that I also can't pull out the pages. So it's also like a heightened sense of accountability for me to consistently show up and do what I do. So that's all I got. I can answer any questions you guys have, or you guys can dip out. No questions? Wow.
Everyone's going to be shy?
Is it too much information or just things that you've already known and there are no questions about it?
I'll admit, I absorbed everything. I took notes on literally everything. So
that's good, right? So
Yeah,
go on.
No, I was saying I took notes too. I've only been in this for like a week, so I'm still kind of in like overload mode. Like everything you're saying we should do, like I've heard that I should do it, but I haven't actually started it yet because I see trackers and guides and it's like, oh, that's a lot. So it's like I don't even know where to start. you know.
Right.
But I need to, and I'm going to. I'm still in that sponge mode.
Right. No, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but I can tell you for a fact, different personality types will gravitate to the idea of a tracker or not tracking. And some people are just as effective without it. However, personally for me, I am very task driven, but I suck at discipline. Like I suck at showing up when I'm supposed to. I have a little bit of that yellow in me to where when it's not fun, I don't feel like doing it. So that's where tracking and kind of holding your hand to the fire, I think really makes a huge difference. And there have been instances where I didn't track. I felt like I didn't need to, or I felt like there's no way I would personally stay consistent with it. I'm not a huge fan of corporate's business tracker because I don't think it's not as task oriented. It'll be like invite 3 people and you're like, what the hell are we inviting 3 people to? Like there's no, there's no detail to it to where it can be very ambiguous. I'm like, I can invite 3 people to my house and that would count as inviting. So I mean, you have to find something that works for you. But by all means, if I haven't already, I will send Ashton everything that I've shown you, and you can pick and choose. The beauty of it is that you do get to pick and choose whatever it is that you want to do, and you can throw out everything that doesn't work. And all you can do in the very beginning, especially in like the super infancy of your business when you're just getting started, is pray to God you make as many mistakes as you can as quickly as you can, because that's really the only way you're going to learn. And I know that's really scary, but like you will find out, you'll be like, apparently I suck at following up, so I need to come up with something like this, because it happens. Like the minutia of it is really what turns me off, because I love talking to people, but I don't like doing follow-ups. And I don't like seeing their name on the paper and being like, oh, I need to talk to them today and ask them if they're interested in or not. So it's not that you love the process, it's just that you stay consistent with it.
I do kind of have a question. This past week, I have been reconnecting with people on Facebook. I start a lot of conversations just to let people know I'm thinking of them and seeing how they're doing. And then, the conversation will be good. And then it gets to that point, and it's like, do I bring up my challenge group that's coming up, or do I wait for them to ask me a question? Because it's only been a week, so, and I don't have any before and after pictures. I'm still working on my own journey, so I'm just trying to figure out, when it says invite 5 people, like you were saying, invite them to what? I'm going to have my challenge group with Ashton coming up for August, so I'm waiting to get that post out on my fan page or my page, and then just kind of seeing who responds to it and following up with them immediately, and then thinking of people I've talked to. But it's just kind of the process between initiating just a casual conversation and kind of rekindling a friendship or, a conversation with them. And then how does that lead into Beachbody if they don't really ask you about it, or if they don't mention anything about health, fitness, finances, or family, just trying to poke at them to see.
So how do I just drop it on the table and make it look as natural as possible?
Yes, because I don't like awkward, and things can be so misinterpreted through type, an email or a message, because I'm better with the in person sometimes. Right. So I'm struggling there.
Well, actually, Ashton kind of forced me to have a light bulb moment this past Monday, because we were talking about the same exact thing. And I was like, how do you go ahead and segue a conversation that doesn't naturally feel like a Beachbody conversation into an invitation? And all she said was just tell them, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you something. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious?
BT dubs.
Yeah. But then that literally is all it comes down to. Just, oh, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you, I don't know if you've seen me post about my all-in challenge that Ashton is doing. Is it something that you're interested in? And most times they haven't seen it. So they'll be like, I don't know, what's it about? Then you get to kind of segue into that conversation. Also, there are instances where just asking people what they do for work. Like if you're, oh, what are you up to these days? And they'll be like, going to work every single day. And then you're like, well, what are you doing for work? Typically that conversation will naturally segue back into, well, what are you doing? and that's also a pretty natural way to do it. But that by the way thing is like so common sense. But there are instances where I just like drop the conversation off and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll talk to you a few weeks from now whenever I feel like I know what I'm going to say to you. But seriously, just saying something like, hey, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you, and let that conversation run maybe 3 or 4 times back and forth so it feels a little bit more fluid. Or maybe even let the time lapse between when you go ahead and respond to them. Obviously, if you start a conversation 3 minutes ago, a by the way doesn't really sound natural. But let's say that conversation goes on for maybe a couple days or so, saying something like, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you, have you seen, I'm presently doing a challenge group with a bunch, an accountability group with a bunch of people. Is it something that you're interested in? I think that's a really natural way to do it.
Okay. I do have one, Ashton. I'm excited.
Yay!
Well, not like signed up, but one that said, let me know when you have details because I'm interested. So
Perfect. Any other questions?
Hi, I just have a question about, I'm just starting to get comfortable posting myself out there on Facebook, and I'm getting some responses, but as you say, you should post like 3 or 4 or 5 times in a day and schedule it. How do you get your inspiration for what to post? So it's not
Pinterest.
Okay.
It's so simple. I dig through the quote section of Pinterest all the time. And one of the things that you'll realize is that it's called Facebook for a reason. People like seeing you. And I find that there's a huge difference because even when we showed up to Coach Summit, everyone recognized who I was. And they're like, I recognize Ashton. I didn't recognize a whole lot of people. And you wonder why. And it's because I don't see your face. Like, I'm not going to go look at your profile picture, nor will anyone else. So when you post, personally for me, I'll go on Pinterest like first thing in the morning and I'll run through and I'll find a few quotes that I really like. And whether it means creating a photo in order to deliver that quote, or if it means saving that picture of that quote and uploading it as my own content, that's typically what I'll do. I'm not really big on like sharing like, oh, look at how much sugar is in your Coke. And if you're into it, that's cool. It's not me, and I don't like posting stuff like that. So I'll typically find inspiration from Pinterest. And there are instances where I'll just find inspiration and I'll just jot it down real quick in the notes section, or things I'm like, that would be such a good post. People really like funny things. People like being able to see snippets of your life. I typically upload little mini conversation and dialogue I'll have with my boyfriend when he says stupid things, because they love him and they think he's like the greatest thing on the face of the planet. So it's little things like that, but definitely Pinterest. Like I will find a picture that says, she believed, so she believed she could, so she did. So even if it means spending the whole day going, man, like, or gussying yourself up just to take a picture so you feel beautiful and you feel confident and you want to deliver that message, that's typically where I'll find my inspiration.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Do we have any questions from the husband sitting in the back?
I've been part of Ashton's challenge groups for a few months now, so I'm just kind of soaking everything in. And my wife is the one that's mainly getting jump started in it. So I work a full-time job and I do the fitness stuff among the programs. I'm just kind of filling in when I can fill in.
Yeah, very cool.
Whenever I start seeing things going pretty good for Heather, then I'll start getting in there. But right now I have just a fan page and my website and everything set up. So
yeah, definitely when it comes down to the two of you, when Hammer and Chisel comes out this December.
Yes, I saw that today.
Yeah, you have so much ammo to run like a couples challenge group, which is something I'm looking to do when that comes out, to like force my boyfriend to do it with me and then find other couples to kind of match up with.
I got the exact same plan with my discuss partner. We're doing the same thing.
Yeah, see, and it's fun. You come up with ideas like that. So
you said it's a new program coming out called Hammer and Chisel.
yeah, if you go to the Team Beachbody website now, it's the landing page video. So
it's like a partner type?
Yeah, it's like a mashup between Sagi Kalev and Autumn Calabrese. So it'll be really cool. perfect ammo for like the whole fit couple feel.
Yep. And if you're going to compete like I am, that's just more going towards competition too.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Oh, I have, maybe it's kind of organization. When it comes to like yearly, you're thinking about tax return because this is a business. Do you have any good solutions for like keeping business expenses categorized? Like I'm already thinking like what kinds of things can we claim as expenses for Beachbody? Like if I buy workout programs and Shakeology for myself, do you guys count that as business expense, or only like if it's something that you're using to like as a sale or marketing thing?
Your personal product shouldn't count as that a tax deductions. So anything you personally consume is not considered to be a write-off. Your monthly, I'm like trying to answer your question and look for this book at the same time. Your monthly $15.95 as well as your club membership, as far as I'm concerned, is considered to be a tax write-off because you need club membership in order for you to be eligible for all of your leads. Personally for me, and I don't know what Ashton does, but this is about as like organized as I'll get with tax refunds. I end up having an expanding folder, okay? So different things go in here, like when I run to the post office, and every single time I go, I'll go ahead and mark that off. Different office supplies. If you were to buy a computer for your Beachbody business, that is a write-off. My business fees, online business tools that I use. So let's say you start using different software, you want to buy PicMonkey, but you want like the upgraded version of PicMonkey. That's a tax write-off. Anything and everything that you can validate and justify using for your business, it's a huge tax break when you're a small business owner. I'll also put different things in here like wear and share. Any personal development books I buy or anything that I gift to my team is considered to be a tax write-off. And even donations, there are instances where donations can be a tax write-off. There are people who put like tithes in as tax write-offs. I personally don't do that. But if you're doing anything, you know, let's say you end up running like some sort of challenge or something, and you maybe one of the draw-ins is that an X amount of the percentage of the earnings that you make will be donated to international justice missions or something like that. And you go ahead and make that donation on behalf of your business, that would be also considered to be a tax write-off. Mileage is very, very big. If you ever decide to fly anywhere, your plane tickets, your gas that you end up pumping into your car, anything. I mean, anything and everything. I mean, this $15 binding this book, tax write-off. Buy pens for your business, tax write-off. So, let's say you go ahead and have lunch with someone who can prospectively be a challenger, and you decide to pick up the tab, or you're just paying for yourself, tax write-off, because that was considered to be a business meeting. I do have a book. Here it is. So it's called Lower Your Taxes Big Time. I haven't read the whole book through, but it definitely goes into like how to turn your vacation into a tax deductible write-off. So there are all different things about people who have their own home businesses. I would definitely get this as a resource to see what can and cannot be considered to be a write-off, because the last thing you want to do is get slammed for tax fraud.
Another thing too, I think Jeff and Jason are really well at like talking about that and preparing that and everything, just because of where their income is based on that. But yes, pretty much, I mean, anything that you do use for your business. And like, that was another thing too. Like, I talked to my tax lady, and she's like, you know, your internet, like, because I use, you know, my internet, my phone, that's
Right.
That's mostly all my business.
Right.
So if you have an actual space as an office for your actual home, like, you can write off a percentage of what your mortgage is and stuff like that too. So there's tons of stuff that can go into it and everything. So
I would also make the recommendation with all the checks that you make to set 20% of them. I do it. I don't know if everybody else does it. I set 20% of them aside to pay back taxes at the end of the year. Because like making money with Beachbody is all good and great, but once you make past an X amount, you will have to pay back into it, especially if you haven't been keeping up with your tax deductions. So I set aside 20%, pretend it's money I don't have. and it basically sits in a fund in essence to eventually pay it back. Now, I haven't had to pay it back, but then at the end of the year, it's like free money. And I would also make the recommendation to take a fraction, maybe 20% of what it is that you make with the business, and consider reinvesting it, because reinvesting in your business is huge. So when it comes down to reaching more people and going into Facebook advertising or whatever it may be, I would definitely set aside money to reinvest into your business as well. Any other questions?
You had mentioned the club membership.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that whenever you go and order the challenge packs and things, then it gives you like a month or 2 months free.
A month.
You said it was required for what now?
Later on, when you end up, like, let's say when she goes Emerald and she goes ahead and hits Success Club, another factor into her receiving her Beachbody customer leads the following month is her being a club member. So it's a triad of requirements that need to be filled. Regardless,
and those leads are the internet ones that come in, like people who just need a free coach and you get assigned one.
Yeah, and then let's say you hit Success Club 10, you qualify for an extra like $100 in commissions the following month. So if it means paying $40 quarterly in order to have that kind of incentive and have those leads come in, I happily pay it. Plus, you end up getting so many sneak peeks and free, like just Beachbody on Demand specific workouts that are so valuable. And also you can show people yourself doing them and they'll be like, I don't have that workout. Where's that one? You're like, it's only on Beachbody on Demand. So it gives you more grounds to kind of flavor in like exclusive content to the people that you're trying to reach too.
And Beachbody on Demand is only available if you have club membership, right? Or is that a separate thing that you can, okay.
Beachbody on Demand is a component of club membership. So you like with club membership, you also get like meal planners and VIP chats with the trainers, but Beachbody on Demand is a component of that. It's the biggest component. So yeah, you have to be a club member to get access to it.
And then for customers, that's where you could say like you could just have free basic membership, which is creating your account, or the club membership, which it's the 40 quarterly, right?
Right,
like
40 quarterly, and they get 10% off of all of their products.
Okay.
So that's typically, those are people that are really good, like the people that want the discount off of Shakeology, but absolutely have no aggressiveness when it comes down to pursuing the business. I think it's a great alternative for them, especially if they find themselves getting Shakeology pretty sporadically or maybe every other month. It's not someone that you want to sign up as a discount coach because you'll probably end up being frustrated eventually when they go inactive and you're like, I thought you said you loved it. And they go, well, I really don't. Now I want to quit. And it becomes like a totally different issue. We can do one last question or we can say sayonara.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you for, hopping on the call and everything, and I really appreciate it. So, I mean, it means a lot to be able to have someone come on and give us your expertise and everything, and I hope that they learned a lot. And if you guys just want to stay on for like 5 more minutes with me, you're more than welcome to get off. Eden, if you guys want to say thank you, hop over to her page and, just thank her on the page. That's something that's great to hear too. Not only is that, people will start to see that of her and be like, what? She was speaking on a team call. What was that? I mean, what? So that not only is just being grateful for her time, but also can help her in her business. So Eden Lee, look her up if you need to. And yeah, so if you guys can just give me 5 minutes, if you want to push it over to me, and we'll let you on your way. And thank you again.
Thank you, Eden.
You're welcome. Now, I don't know how to give this over to you. I can just leave the meeting. Does that work?
It might. I think if you go to participants down at the bottom. Oh wait, I can reclaim host. Oh, here we go. Sweet. We're good.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you later.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. All right, you guys. So I won't take up too much of your time, but there was just a few things that I wanted to hit on that she said and everything too. And just the one thing that she said about mistakes and everything, like it was funny because what I heard today, I can't remember if it was my personal development book or something, but it was like, why are we so afraid to make mistakes when mistakes are what push us to learn? And that when she was talking about the mistakes, like praying that you get into as many mistakes as you can, that was like a light bulb for me, because I was like, I just heard something like that today, because we grow from our mistakes. So we're not like, so when we're sitting there afraid, we're afraid to really open up about the opportunity, or we're afraid to open up for someone to join our challenge group. And we're afraid of all these things because we think that we're going to make a mistake, or we think we're going to fail, or like, how do I talk to this person or whatnot? And the only thing that we can do is really just learn by doing it. And then those mistakes, we learn from it. So that is huge on that, you know. And another thing too, Heather, with the by the way, like if you are afraid to specifically ask, you know, would this be something you're interested in? You can always revert it to, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you, I'm getting ready to start a challenge group. It's called All In. Just looking for like 5 people who are wanting to change their life, create a healthy lifestyle. Do you know of anyone who may be interested that I could talk to just about their goals, no commitment, that may see this as a fit for them? So that's something that you can ask. And you can actually do that with the whole business aspect too. Like, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you, I'm looking for 2 people to join my team. There's really no specific requirements other than really wanting to help people and inspire them to change their lives. You am looking for people who are wanting to make $50 to $500 a week. Do you know of anyone who may be interested? So you can always throw that by the way in, because I always get in conversations where it's like, you feel like it's, hey, how's your week going? Da 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 da. And then, hey, how's your week going? Da 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 da. And it was like, you already did that for me. And you already know about this. And you're like, where is this going? So that's a good thing. Next thing, she talked about Pinterest and everything and stuff like that. You guys grab inspiration from Pinterest. Look at the top coaches. Check out, like, stalk their stuff. I'm not kidding. Like, look at what they're doing. If you see something that is inspirational, make it your own and post it as your own. I'm going to tell you right now, sharing things, it doesn't work. Even now recently, I've been sharing YouTube videos on my pages, and my YouTube videos are not really getting much of a hit on them. They're not getting them from Facebook. And it frustrates me, because now it's like, okay, well, do I upload it? I've been uploading them directly to Facebook, and they've been getting more, you know, views, but I still upload them to my YouTube because I have a big affinity there, and I can recycle them too. So that's nice. But that's something that maybe if you're looking to do videos or post videos out, post them on your YouTube to keep building them up, but post them directly on your Facebook for the very first time. Then when you want to bring that back around, because you're going to recycle stuff all the time. But if you're finding, like I said, Pinterest or a quote that you like, make yourself a picture and put that quote on the picture, and then something that came to your heart about whatever, about life. Like, there's always something that we can talk about, that we can say. And there's nothing that, like, for me, I post naturally throughout the day. I have that ability. Like, I'm okay. Like, I know that I can just come up with something no matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing. I mean, it could be maybe that you're at your desk job. Like, I saw Alex posted a photo of, weren't you doing like a workout while at his desk or something, or he was doing a yoga pose or something. I think it was for our challenge. Yeah, you were doing a yoga pose. You were doing the
it was a bird of paradise, and I actually just snapped that randomly and literally in the middle of doing my work.
Yep. So that's something too, that because people are like, what is he doing? Like, he's doing yoga and his work, and he could kind of, even though if he wasn't really fully doing the workout, but just did that pose, you know, that could be something like, yep, wouldn't that be awesome to have your lunch break and just do on demand? You know, like something just simple and basic like that. So that was the other thing I wanted to hit on. And then the very last thing is that what I would highly recommend that you guys do, if you don't, you know, go get some professional photos, maybe not even really professional, but if you have someone that has a nice camera, go outside, go in front of a white thing, make different poses, different smiles. Like, you'll see the top coaches have all these things and they use them over and over. So they might have a white piece of paper, this long piece of paper, and they're like, well, it's bigger, you know, just a regular sheet of paper. And they're like, and all of a sudden they'll be able to put anything on there. So maybe they're like, ask me how to join my next sneak peek, or get on a call with me on da-da-da-da-da to learn about the business opportunity. So, it's all these little things, but if you imagine if you have like 50 different pictures of yourself, like I said, I've been doing my pictures by myself, but I talked to my brother-in-law recently because he's a photographer, and there's no reason why I can't go to his house and go on his green screen. So it's just been time since I was in school and stuff. But your profile photo should be a photo of your face. Something, I mean, you can look at other people, they might have their before and afters, but it should be a clear photo of your face. And even with children, like if you want your children up in your cover photo, do that. I mean, you can have a photo of you and your family and everything, but then sometimes it can be like, okay, well, who am I talking to? And when someone's looking, like hovering over your profile photo, it's very, very small. So you want something that shows completely what your face is, so people can be like, okay, I know who I'm talking to. Or, then their cover photo, like I said, it can have you, what you represent, and your family, your kids, what you're passionate about and stuff like that. But that's where, again, go on to those top coaches, go in the back office, look up the elite coaches, and, figure out from there. But I am working on that. Yes. I am working on trying to create a system like that on my, I can't think of what it's called now, on my blog for you guys, about going like, okay, because we do have that training system in our online office, and I think people just kind of oversee it, and I really believe that makes a huge difference. Like getting those coaches plugged in right away, like, come here, follow this through. If you have questions, I'll walk you through anything, and then get you plugged into like a diamond training and stuff where you're learning from other coaches and stuff. But the basics of everything, we don't want to overcomplicate. And then YouTube, like she said, I learned everything pretty much. I mean, I don't want to say everything because we started off with a PDF file. But once like after a year and stuff, and coaches were putting their information out on YouTube, that's where I drew to. I watched like all of Scotty Hobbs' videos. I was going through his stuff. Then I started listening to Lindsay Krause. She drove me awesomeness. Like she was all about this and that, and she had scripts. That's where I got the By the Way from. And then and that was how long ago? That was how many years ago? That was 2 years ago. Anita Myron, love listening to what she's got to say. So there's, we can post out in the team page about that, but I am trying to work on creating a system on a blog so that you guys can send people that, so they can be like, all right, step one, go here, watch this video, do this. And it makes it easy for us to duplicate what we're duplicating. That's what I want. That's what I don't care what I got to do to get it done. I'm going to have someone do it probably. I can try to create my own. I did start something, but then I kind of let it go. So that's kind of my drive and focus for the rest of this year. The calendars are coming up. Feel free to use them. Otherwise, make your own. But these are going to be set for the challenge groups that I have up, that you are more than welcome to join and come into and bring your challengers in. They do need to be doing a workout program and 30 days of Shakeology. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's even a script for those that are like, well, I just can't do it. There's a script in our team page that really breaks it down. Like, I can still help you, and I can get you in a motivational group, or I can send you to my fan page and I can still help you, but I need to keep it the playing field level. Like it's not fair that it breaks it down in a great way of saying how it's not fair that I have these people that fully committed to what we are really trying to drive because we know that it works, and then these people that aren't. So stick to that. People might completely be like, okay. But okay, so I'm already 5 minutes over. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post them to the team page. The call was recorded, so I'll get that out. If you guys want to re-listen to it, or you have coaches that you think that you would like to listen to it, send it to them. I thought it was great information because me, like I said, I'm not organized. And I get the pleasure of speaking on her call tomorrow about how to share your story, because That's something that I'm good at. So I'm looking to get more people coming into the calls, giving us their expertise on things. So if you guys have some things that you're like, hey, I'd really love someone to hit on this, I'm sure I can find someone and help bring them in. So, and then we just kind of flip flop, and I think it's actually really nice. So thank you guys so much for joining. Tomorrow is a new Beachbody Day, right? So hope you guys are going awesome, strong in August. It's that Team Cup. Again, just set yourself out there. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just go. Just go. Just think of this as a gift for everyone, because it truly, honestly is. This is a gift. And don't think of it as anything else other than that. So.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right. Love you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice.